Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Andy.
And today we're going over the top 5 best and top 5 worst attractions at Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World.
We know your time at the parks are very limited, so we rate the rides based on the value you get in terms of the fun versus the wait times to make sure that you maximize your day at the park.
If you're headed to Walt Disney World and you want to save some money, we're including a link to a video below where we go over all the money-saving tips for your trip. And we wanted to let you know we're trying to visit every Disney park on the planet this year. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of those adventures.
Now let's start with our top 5 best attractions at Hollywood Studios. Starting with number 5, Rock and Roller Coaster. This is the only roller coaster at Disney World where you get to go upside down. In fact, there are 3 inversions in total for this ride. My favorite part is when you're about to board your stretch limo. You actually get to see the people in front of you launching and screaming as they go from 0 to 57 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds. So it really amps you up for this ride that you're about to go on, and it doesn't disappoint.
Number 4, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Now, this is an attraction that replaced the Great Movie Ride. The basic premise of it is you are going into a cartoon where Goofy is the train conductor, and things go very, very wrong. We think this attraction is really cute and really fun. There's all these Easter eggs that you don't see on the first go around. There's a ton of surprises on this ride, and there's a really catchy song that's going to get in your head all day long. But in a good way, not a bad way, like It's a Small World. This is the first ride ever at Disney to feature Mickey Mouse.
Number 3, Slinky Dog Dash. If you're a fan of Toy Story, you'll love this ride. Imagine if Andy, not me, the other Andy, built a roller coaster in the backyard. This would be what he builds. If you don't want a roller coaster that goes upside down like Rock and Roller Coaster, but you also don't want a kiddie coaster like Barnstormer in Magic Kingdom, this is the perfect in-between ride. It has a lot of small thrills, goes pretty fast, but it's also pretty easy on your stomach. So highly recommended. I love this ride at night because of the string lights that are throughout the ride, including the one where Jessie and Rex are holding it above while you go under it. The worst thing about this ride though is the wait time. So we recommend you get a Genie Plus, or you rope drop this ride, or you wait until the end of the day when lines die down a bit.
Number 2, Tower of Terror. So the basic premise is this hotel is haunted and you're about to stay there. So they take you up to your room in an elevator, and let's just say you may want to take the stairs.
Buddy, what do you think? Maximum occupancy has been reached.
Take the stairs.
Yes.
This is one of the most immersive attractions in the world. It's amazing what they've done with it, all the details throughout the lobby. Now, this one is not for the faint of heart. It is a very thrilling attraction, probably one of the most scariest rides.
I find Rock and Roller Coaster way scarier.
He finds Rock and Roller Coaster scarier. I find Tower of Terror very scary because of those drops and the unpredictability of it. This is not your typical drop ride that relies on gravity. It actually has a mechanism in it that pushes you up and pushes you down faster than gravity. And cue the footage of us riding it now, and you'll see the look on my face every single time we ride it. We were fortunate enough to get photographed there for our wedding when no one else was in the park. It was a really cool experience.
Number 1, Rise of the Resistance is our favorite ride at Hollywood Studios. The reason why it's up here is because it doesn't feel like a ride. It feels like you're fully immersed in the world of Star Wars. The first time we went on this, my mouth was just dropping down. I did not know Disney Imagineering could be this creative. You have all these animatronics. It's a trackless ride. There's so much detail. It's really incredible. I think anyone that's been on this ride would agree that it's one of the best, if not the best, ride at Walt Disney World.
The whole experience is roughly 18 minutes in length, so you really get your money's worth with this ride. And now for our top 5 worst attractions at Hollywood Studios. Number 5, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. This is a flight simulator where you go into the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon and you actually get to fly it, be a gunner, or be an engineer. Now, this might be a hot take because it is such a new attraction, and honestly, we love the exterior, the interior, There's an animatronic for the pre-show named Hondo, who is really cool when he's working. That is where the positives come to an end for us. The reason this is on our worst list is because, and if you've been on this ride before, you've probably guessed it, there are 6 seats in the Millennium Falcon and only 2 of them are good. If you are the 2 pilots, you're going to have an amazing time. It's really immersive and you actually do get to control how you fly. Now, the other 2 rows is the gunner and the engineer, and basically you're just pushing a button when it lights up. It is not that immersive and you don't really feel like you're part of the story. If you're going to wait for this ride any amount of time, we highly recommend asking politely to be the pilots.
Number 4, Star Tours. Now this is another Star Wars flight simulator, but it's an older one. The pros about this ride is usually there is no wait or a very short one. There's great re-rideability factor because there's different scenes and you never know which one you're going to get. And there's a really cool animatronic of C-3PO. So for those that love Star Wars, those are all things that you'll love about this ride. Now that's where it kind of ends for us because we get motion sickness. I don't know if it's because of the 3D effects or if it's just because it's an older ride and the motion simulated is a bit more jittery. But every time we walk off, I'm just like, no, that's the last time I'm gonna ride this ride. But then Disney always does things like releasing new scenes. They have a new one for The Mandalorian, which I kind of want to ride again.
You got us, Disney.
We'll probably do it again just to see what those scenes are like. But this is why it's on our worst list because you might get motion sickness.
Number 3. For the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration. This is a great show for Frozen fans, but it's important to lower your expectations because it's basically a stand-up comedy show with sing-alongs from the actual movie projected on a screen sprinkled in. While we love this attraction, we hear a lot of negative feedback about it and we can see why. So a lot of children don't understand the jokes, they're more for the adults, and again, it's just projecting the Frozen movie with sing-along on the bottom. It's really cute to hear all the kids sing along to the Frozen songs that they love, like Let It Go, but ultimately we feel like this is a skippable attraction if you're not super into Frozen.
Number 2, alien swirling saucers. Now, if you've been on any flat spinning ride in your life, this is essentially another one. But if you're a fan of Toy Story, you're going to like this ride. Now, the reason why it's on our second worst is because of the wait times. Every time we want to go on this ride, it's usually a super long wait. We think this is a great ride, but probably not something you need to do if you've been on other spinning attractions.
Number 1, Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. The reality of this is that it's just a sit-down show. It's basically a presentation on screens with, albeit a very cool animatronic of Lightning McQueen himself. So if you do have those Cars fans in your party, you're definitely going to want to check this out, but probably towards the end of the night when it's less busy. The show is not very interactive, it's relatively short at 10 minutes, and the seats are not comfortable. So that's sort of why we're putting it on this list and why we're ranking it the last. But again, if your kiddos love cars, you definitely have to put this on your list.
Hollywood Studios is an extremely busy park, so we hope our list helped you decide what's worth it and what's not. Our list is subjective based on our taste and based on what we think is worth it and what is not. Let us know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with our picks.
And with that, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.